Hello, and welcome to this next section of the Tulip Agile Manufacturing Series Future of Life Science Manufacturing event. This section is building apps in a GxP environment. We'll be taking a look at a Logbook app and what a built solution looks like once it's running on your shop floor. I'm Giovanni Carrara, Community Lead here at Tulip. As you can see here, this section is broken down into two main parts. Part 1 will be taking a look at a Logbook app demo. Specifically, we'll be taking a look at an app for equipment cleaning. In part 2, we'll start building apps. So we'll open up the Tulip app editor to take a look at how apps can be easily modified and built in Tulip's no-code environment. Finally, we'll take a look at how version control and approvals workflows can be placed on apps to ensure proper versioning. Great, let's get started. Okay, so what we're looking at here is an equipment logbook app. So at the start of a day or start of a shift, the technician can use this app to record all the cleanings that are performed on specific pieces of equipment. So on the left side of the screen here, we have a logbook of all the cleanings, when they were performed, who they were performed by, and the piece of equipment that was cleaned. Down here, we have the option to update cleaning records and view the history record. But we'll get into that in just a minute. Now we're going to go ahead and record a new cleaning. So if I click this button, we're taken to the step that prompts us for some information on the cleaning. So I can go ahead and select from a drop-down the balance that is being cleaned, the solution that is being used, and some information is being captured in the background. Here we're only displaying the time elapsed and the user, but we can also access other information. Furthermore, we can also ask the technician to take a photograph of the piece of equipment once it's been cleaned. But once I'm ready to record the cleaning, I can simply click the Record New Cleaning button, and we're taken to a step that prompts us for the credentials, so our username and password. Now, of course, this is extremely important because we can associate the cleaning back to the user who is logged in and executing the app. So once I enter my username and password, I can go ahead and click Submit. Now once I do that, you can see that the app completes and the cleaning log has been recorded in our logbook. Now say I realize that a mistake had been made and I was using a different solution. I need to modify the log itself. So I can simply come into my table, select the logbook that I want to, the log that I want to modify, and go ahead and update the cleaning record. At this point, we're taken to the step that has the information. I'll say, okay, instead of using solution 1.1, I was actually using solution 1.2, and I'll say that I misread the label. Great. Now we can go ahead and update the cleaning record, and again, we're prompted for the credentials. So our username and password to make sure that we can associate the update of the record to the user who is logged in and executing the app. Great. Now once I click Submit, the app completes and the logbook is updated. Now, of course, we want to see this change. We want to track it and see what this looks like. So we can come in here and view the history record. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you. If I don't select a log, we'll get a notification saying please select a record. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select this record here, and we're going to go in to view the history record. Now once I click this, we're taken to a step that displays all the information on the log. So from when it was created, the information that was entered, who was running it, when it was run, and then we can see the changes that were performed. So here we went from solution 1.1 to solution 1.2. And of course, this is really powerful because now we have full traceability of the logs as they change over time. And we can associate them back with the user that was logged in and entered their credentials in the electronic signature step. Great. Now, the last thing I want to show here is the app log. So every time the app is executed, we're tracking information on which app is running, the current date and time, the user that was logged in, how long it took, and a lot of other information. But it's really important to keep a running log of all the app executions. Great. So now that we've taken a look at this app, we're going to go into the Tulip app editor to understand how this can be easily modified in Tulip and then ensure proper version control through our version control system and approval workflows. Okay, so whereas before we're in the Tulip player that runs the apps on your shop floor, we're now in the Tulip app editor. This is where apps are modified and built. So before we get started with the app editor, I do want to point out that we're going to show how changes can be easily made to apps, but we'll be later taking a look at how version control and approvals workflows can be placed on apps to ensure that the correct versions of apps are running on your shop floor. But now we're going to take a look at how apps can be easily modified and built in Tulip. So using an intuitive drag and drop interface, apps can be built in Tulip. So here, if you remember, this is the button that is used to record a new cleaning. And as you can see, it's a very simple button with a trigger. It simply shows a message and then it goes to a specific step. So using these drop downs, you can easily build complex apps that match the workflows that you need to capture data. If I wanted to change the button color, I could simply come in here, select a new color, and this changes it on the app itself. One piece of functionality that I briefly want to highlight is also the ability to integrate with equipment that's running on your shop floor. So if you wanted to connect to a specific device that you have running, you can simply come in here and say, okay, when a barcode scanner outputs at the station with a new barcode, you can go ahead and store what this barcode is outputting. And of course, this is really powerful because just like that, without writing a single line of code, just selecting from these drop downs, we're able to integrate with all of these devices and more that are running on your shop floor. Great. So now continuing on here with the app editor, if you remember, this is the step in which we're asking the technician for some information on the cleaning. So this drop down here, we have our list of balances, and say I wanted to add a new piece of equipment. I could simply come in here and enter a new balance. And now, once this app is published and all the approvers signed off on it, the balance AG would also be displayed in the dropdown. Same with the cleaning solution. Here we were some of the information that was being displayed, and of course you can select from lots of other information that you have available in your app. Great. Now, if we go in here and take a look at the signature step. So if you remember, when the app was completed to record a new cleaning or update a cleaning, we're asking the operator for an electronic signature. So here you can see that this form, currently any operator can go ahead and submit the form and sign off on updating a cleaning. If, on the other hand, we wanted to change this to be only a specific user could go ahead and sign off on the change, we could select from this drop down and say, okay, specify to a list of allowed users, and then select from all the accounts that are available within our Tulip instance. So then if I selected Edward Atkins, once this app was published and the approvers signed off on it, now only Eddie could go ahead and sign off on updating the records in our record history. Great. Now that we've taken a quick look at how apps are easily modified and built in Tulip, let's take a look at some of the information that is being captured. So every time the app executes, we go ahead and record completion data in an immutable completion data history table. So all the information here is stored and it cannot be modified in any way. If we wanted to, we can come in here and view historical data from the past, and again, all the associated signatures, equipment, the agents that were used to clean, and so forth. Okay, so while apps are running on your shop floor, a lot of information is being captured in the background, can then be shown to drive improvements on the shop floor. So if I simply navigate over to the Analytics tab, you can see here that we can go ahead and add new charts. So for example, say I wanted to display some information on our completions. We can come in here and build analytics on the latest completion data that Tulip is recording. So here we're currently showing the count of completions, so the number of cleanings that have been performed. If we wanted to change this, we can easily come in here and select from, again, an intuitive and easy to use drag and drop interface. We can go ahead and select all of the different fields. So here, for example, we're showing the process cycle time compared to the target cycle time, and we can easily graph all the information that is being captured on our workflow. If we want to change date range, we can come in here and again just select the date range that we're interested in displaying. Now, of course, this is really powerful because we're able to expose information on the process as it's running on the shop floor to help drive improvements. Okay, now that we've seen how quick and easy it is to build and modify apps in Tulip, we want to showcase some of the robust version and approvals workflows that can be placed on apps to ensure that the correct version of the app is running on the shop floor. So if I first navigate over to the versions tab, we have a full version history of all the apps that have been published. So here we can see from when the app was created, all the different versions that are available and what has changed. Now, you can specify that only specific users can publish apps within your Tulip account. That is done through the permissions tab. So here we can go ahead and add permissions for our apps. So we can add a specific user from our list, and we can select the permission that we want to provide them with. So if we want to provide someone with edit capabilities, publish capabilities, or can only view it, or is the actual owner of the app, you can easily come in here and add these permissions to the specific app. So furthermore, we can add approvals workflows. So if before the app is published, specific groups of people within your organization need to sign off on the app to ensure the correct version is running and they meet all the goals, we can do that through the approvals. So we can set up within, and this list can be customized within your account. You can have this list match all the users, all the teams that need to sign off on apps before they're published. So in this case here, we only have one approval workflow currently, in which somebody needs to come in here and sign off from the compliance team that it meets all the compliance purposes. But say I wanted to add another approvals workflow in which the engineering equipment team had to come in here and sign off on the app change, and come in here and select, okay, say Edward Atkins needs to come in here and submit the form. There we go. Now it's enabled, and before this app is published and a new version is running on the shop floor, Eddie needs to come in here and sign off on the app. Now, of course, again, this is very powerful because we've seen how quick and easy it is to build apps in Tulip, but we also have very robust systems that can be put in place to ensure the correct version of the app is running on your shop floor. So now that we've seen a little bit of how apps are built and published in Tulip, we now want to take a look at some of the other capabilities that the platform has. So if I navigate over to the Dashboards tab, we can see all of the available information within our apps that are running, and these analytics stay up to date as the app runs on the shop floor. And again, they can be customized easily, as we saw earlier with the cycle time. Furthermore, we can go ahead and view all the stations that are running our Tulip app. So if you want to come in here and modify this version that a specific player is running, we can come in here and specify it easily from, again, all these customizations that we can have on specific apps. Furthermore, we can manage our users here in the users tab, and if we wanted to, we can have different user accounts depending on the access rights that we want to provide for all the users who are using Tulip within our organization. Great. Thank you very much for listening in on the Building Apps in a GxP Environment section. Now, of course, the app we looked at today is a pretty simple one, but hopefully the demo gave you a sense of how quick and easy it is to build apps in Tulip. Furthermore, how robust version control and approvals workflows can be placed on your apps to ensure that the correct version is running on your shop floor. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.